Are you saying a lot, but no one seems to be listening? Are you spending a lot of time on social media, writing blogs, speaking, YouTube videos, and you're not attracting clients? Well, stick with me, because in this episode, I'm going to continue our conversation around growing your coaching practice by helping you to craft your perfect fit magnetic message and attract more clients. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, Emotional Intelligence Speaker and Trainer of the Year and Master Coach Trainer. And this week I want to continue our conversation and move through the steps of designing our online program by making sure that people hear what it is that you've got to say. Qualify buyers, install belief, and crush their objections by crafting a magnetic message. If you've been coming on the journey with me so far, we've been talking about getting yourself out there and seen and cutting through all the noise so that people find you and engage you as their coach. To do that, we've looked at your expert positioning and found out what it is that you know and how you can solve problems for the right hot avatar right now. To continue on with this, what I want to do is to give you the 3 key elements that you'll need to work on to get your magnetic message out there. A magnetic message is one of those things that draws people in. You're not pushing it on them. They find you rather than you finding them. So last week we looked at the fact that we need to have the prospects radio tuned in at the right place so that they hear you and they don't hear everybody else. And if you haven't listened to that yet, go back and go through that episode and then come and join us again. There are 3 key elements that you need to consider when putting your magnetic message together. I like to look at these as filters so that we put the elements of our message through those filters to make sure that it's going to have that emotional connection that we talked about last week, and your right fit clients are going to be attracted to it. So the first thing that we need to consider is the prospect's 2 a.m. question. I don't know about you, but I've certainly been there where I've had situations going on in my life and I've woken up in the middle of the night. And for some reason, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. seems to be the witching hour for that to happen. What we want to do is we're putting this message together is we want to channel the prospect's mind, not what we're thinking they need. Otherwise, what we're doing is we're working at surface level and we're being general and it's not cutting through. So if you were sitting down with your perfect fit hot avatar right now and you ask them what wakes you up at 2 a.m. and what's the question that you ask yourself, this will be vital in you knowing exactly what it is that they're going to want fixed right now. And the question would probably go something like this: if only I could. And that would be followed by something that they want to increase or something that they want less of. So the first thing that we want to consider is the 2 a.m. question. The second element of our magnetic message that we really need to take into consideration is the language with which we speak. Now, I'm not talking about language from different countries or cultures. What I'm talking about is the language palette of that particular avatar. What we do a lot in coaching and training in our profession is we speak in our language. We use words like resonate. And it's not a particular word that our prospect would use. So what we've got to do is keep the language plain, and we've got to make sure it's free of jargon so that they understand it. Because if there's jargon or acronyms or things that they don't understand, they'll move to the next message. instead of being fancy and making up new words, and I know I've certainly done this many times, what we want to do is make sure that we have an understanding of that particular language palette and the way that they would say it. Later on, when we've got their interest, we can go into talking about those other things. But before that, we need to make sure that it's not confusing and it's clear to them because we're speaking in our language. It's like when you travel to a different country and you see people, nodding their head at you, and you know that they have no idea what you're talking about, and you certainly don't know what they're talking about as well. And I know that for a number of years, people were confused as to what it is that I could actually do for them because I was speaking in the language of coach, not in the language of the prospect. So the second area is to make sure that we're in the right language palette. And the third area that we need to consider when crafting our magnetic message is, are we offering them painkillers or just vitamins? So what I mean by that is, are we actually delivering a message that helps them to understand that they're going to be able to move away from that pain, they're actually going to get the end result they want, or is it a band-aid fix that's just going to help them to feel better along the way? So our message needs to be totally clear that I know you have this problem, I know how to solve it, and I know where you want to go, and I'm going to get you there. So make sure that your message contains painkillers, not just vitamins. It's got to get their attention so that they listen to you and they want to know more. So once we have these elements, we understand what our hot avatar needs, and we've looked at their currency last week. We've looked at what it is that they want to solve. We've looked at their language palette, the 2am question, all these things. Now what we want to do is use the magnetic message formula to craft a message that we can put out there. Now, one of the distinctions I want to make here is it's not an elevator pitch. This is not something that we're going to just say to someone when they go, hey, what do you do? And we ramble off this long-winded paragraph that pushes them away rather than attracts them. But what our magnetic message allows us to do is know everything that we need to put out there in short, bite-sized chunks, whether it be in a conversation, whether it be in a messenger chat, whether it be in writing blog posts, social media posts, or whatever, so that they understand and there's an alignment between what your message says and what they need right now. So when I'm working in our online program Launchpad and I'm working with coaches and mentoring them, this is one of the areas that they invest a fair bit of time in to get it right. It's about testing and tweaking and measuring and making sure that it is a perfect fit magnetic message that attracts the right people to you and repels those that are not a fit for you right now. The message formula focuses on the prospect, not on the coach. It talks about their currency, how they would measure their success, the timeline that they want to achieve that in, what they want to eliminate as in their frustrations and fears, and where they want to get to, the ultimate result that they want to get. So if you're interested in learning more about how to go through that process and to craft your own message, then check in with me and I'll let you know the details of the next program that we are running. So what we want to end up with is a statement that says, I help a particular person to do something without frustrations that they would have, so that they achieve the ultimate result that they are looking for. So as an example of that, I help established coaches and consultants go from no idea to launching their online program in 60 days or less without frustration and technical overwhelm so that they can help more people and have a consistent, regular income. So that in essence is the magic formula that I use so that I can pull out pieces of that and have conversations, whether it be face-to-face, online, one-on-one, or to a group. What's your magnetic message? Do you have clarity around what it is? I'd love to help you to craft that so that you start attracting more people to your programs. Well, that's it from me for another week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so that you find out when my next episode is on. So next week, we're going to keep moving along on this process of designing our program by looking at how you take your prospects from where they are now to where they want to go in your unique way by developing your unique roadmap. I'll see you then.